Adesina Koiki here in Charlotte, North Carolina for ACC Operation Basketball, and Amile Jefferson is bobbing his head already because he knows this interview is going to be off the chain, all right? And yes, Amile Jefferson of the Duke Blue Devils. First of all, Amile, thank you so very much for joining us, and my apologies for keeping you from lunch right now, so hopefully you don't hold it against me.
I definitely won't.
Last season, first of all, I do have to ask you, being a member of Duke University, a part of the Duke University team, when you were growing up as a kid and wanting to become a college athlete, NBA player, what was your impression of Duke?
When you're growing up, you always hear about Duke. You know its legacy. You know that it's always one of the best college teams. But it wasn't until I got to Duke that I understood the gravity of how amazing the school is on the court and off the court. Basketball-wise, it just has such an extensive history that it's hard not to want to be a part of it. And then off the court, the people at Duke are amazing. The network that you make, the friends that I've made, coming to Duke has been great.
Talk about some of the friends that you've made while being at Duke that's really stuck with you during your time at Duke and possibly going forward in life.
I've made friends at Duke that I never would have expected, and they're all amazing but different people, and in their own respects, all from different parts of the country, all with their own story, own extensive heritage and culture and things like that. But they're all great people, and they've all become my friends. That I'll probably know for the rest of my life. So it's been really great to be at Duke and to learn from a bunch of different people.
Was it a case of once you got to Duke, you really saw the magnitude of the university and its reach? Or were you someone growing up that you really wanted to reach out to people, wean from people, learn from people? So it almost seems as if it might have been a great match with your personality and the university.
I think it definitely was a great match with my personality, just because, Duke was, like a larger, more grand version of the high school I went to. It was still not that big, and it just had a bunch of great people where, on the court, they love basketball, and then off the court, you're just Amile Jefferson. You're just a regular student. You're not, anything different than who you want to be.
Oh, you're a special person. You're not just Amile Jefferson. You're Amile Jefferson. Okay.
I appreciate that.
Last season, another great season, and what most fans will remember, casual fans will remember, is the game against Mercer and losing in the second round. What do you remember most about last season? What will you take away from last season the most?
That's something that will definitely stick with us, but it'll be used to motivate us. People will look at that game and think we had a bad season, but we really didn't. We really had a great season. So I'll remember that too, that we had a really good team last year, but there were just some things we could have did different that would have made it even better, and that would have helped us in March. And remembering those things and using those things to motivate us through March next year.
What are some of those things that you guys might have done different that might have led to a different result, and a result that wouldn't have left a sour taste in your mouth, or not as much of a sour taste in your mouth?
I think one of the biggest things is talking. And this year group has been talking a lot more, and through talking we learned to push through adversity. And at times last year we were not very good in adversity, and we kind of splintered sometimes. But this year this group has been learning to be more of a cohesive unit, more tighter, and by communicating with each other it really helps us through the tough times.
When you talk about talking more on the floor, you can't just talk to talk. So how do you use verbal communication to become much more of a cohesive unit?
Firstly, it's just about making sure guys are in the right position where they need to be, especially on defense. Well, defense and offense. And it's about using your voice to let guys know they're not alone. When you're playing defense, you can't really see behind you, so you depend on your teammates behind you to let you know where to send them, or that you have help on the baseline, and those kind of really just key words to let your teammate know that they're not alone, that you're playing as a cohesive unit.
Last season, you had Jabari Parker on the roster. It was youth, and then there was experience with Quinn Cook and yourself. Now it's going to be almost the same again with Jahlil Okafor, Tyus Jones, and yourself and Quinn. So just talk about the meshing of the veteran leadership with the youth and how to make that gel.
We've been working on that all summer. And by having, the young guys be so close, it really helped it make it easier for us to gel as a unit, because you had the upperclassmen who are already, close and gel, and then you bring in, 4 guys who are already best friends on and off the court, and we all just mesh together really well. So the chemistry is there for us on and off the court, because we really enjoy each other and we really feel comfortable around each other, and that's really going to help us throughout the season.
Now it's just you and me. Quinn Cook is right over here. Tell me something about Quinn Cook that he wouldn't want people to know on camera, since he's not watching us right now. What would he not want us to know that you can tell us about Quinn right now? Or are you going to spare him?
That he's really just a hilarious guy. Sometimes he probably tries to act serious, but when we're just hanging out, he is really, really funny.
Amile Jefferson of the Duke Blue Devils, thank you so very much for joining us.
Course.
And best of luck to the Blue Devils this season. And I will thank Quinn Cook for you for not throwing him under the bus for that question.
Of course.
Thank you.
No problem.